Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the A&E Truck Series Season 2, the penultimate race of the year, right before we go to Phoenix Motor Speedway. I am your host, Dylan McDonald, with my co-host, Mr. Wesley Outland. Wesley, how are you doing here tonight?
I'm doing well, man. The Rockingham Speedway. What can we say about this place, dude? It's a special place in my heart. I remember going here as a kid. I've announced here many times. They just got this place back up and going with bringing NASCAR and ARCA back with Xfinity and trucks. And I think we're going to see a really good truck race here tonight. And what a track to set the stage at the Rock of who's going to go to the championship for at Phoenix next week.
Absolutely. Looking at the track map there on the middle of your screen, 0.97 miles is the distance. A lot of banking, Wes, in turns 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. But if you notice kind of on that track map to the right, 1 and 2, you kind of got a little bit of a double apex going into the corner. Then the straightaway is not really straight. You can use all the apron down on the inside. You can go everywhere. As long as there's no grass, you can go everywhere. But you got to definitely watch out how you come off the corners. It's going to be extremely loose going from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. And then obviously going down the backstretch. If you get a little too close to the wall, it'll grab you and then suck you right back out, and hopefully nobody's below you. But it's the Rock. You said it's always your thing that you were a part of back in the day, and I unfortunately was not able to be a part of it. As right before I got into NASCAR and got introduced to NASCAR, they ended up shutting the track down. But being able to relive it all and seeing it on iRacing is really fun to see.
Yeah, obviously this is a beautiful facility. You see Thunder Alley down the back straightaway, and, you know, it's gone through facelifts over the years, different owners, management. And while we do that and we show you the scenic of what the track looks like from turn 1, turn 4 camera, there is the playoff standings. And we know Brad Newman is going to be racing for a championship. We were having conversations in regards as now qualifying has started, where Jason Holdsworth, if there's 23 trucks or less than 23, he's going to advance into the championship 4. But Aaron Borg, Ryan Barber, still wide open. And listen, there's still guys on the bubble that they could win this thing, or they could have a good race if one of the front runners fall out. We saw that the other night in the Xfinity BMGX series. It could happen. It's still undetermined, if you will, Dylan, who's going to go to the championship 4, except we know Brad Newman's got it locked in.
Absolutely. Brad Newman's been on a tear every single race of these playoffs. And then obviously you have last week's winner, Brad Wright. He's not in the top 8, but he got his first win of the season. And then you had Jason Holdsworth that finished second place last week at Talladega. He's got a 22-point advantage over Aaron Borg. Mathematically, Aaron Borg and Jason Holdsworth are locked in with 23 or 22 or less drivers in the field here tonight. Ryan Barber is going to be the odd man out. He's got to be able to get the win and to keep himself locked into the top 4. But you can't count on guys like Tom Freer, Riley Curtis, and Angus Lawford, along with Jamie Davis. All those drivers on that bottom 4 West have really shown a lot of an improvement. And with this being a short track, you always got to watch out for that number 41.
No, you're exactly right. And obviously, Tom Freer punched his ticket into the BMG X Series Final Four by literally dumb luck from Tuesday night. I mean, the man got involved in an accident. The only on-track accident happened with him in the early going, and he was laps down from a damaged car. But Dylan, he played the game. He played the points game. He did exactly what he needed to do. 2 laps down at the end of the race, but he still punched his ticket in to the championship 4. What will happen here tonight? As there you see the schedule, obviously, we're down to the end of the road here thanks to Nitro Racing and the Australian NASCAR E-Series. Talladega was a wild one obviously Thursday night. Rockingham on deck tonight. Penultimate race, as you mentioned. And then obviously next Thursday, the title is on the line at Phoenix.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be something fun to watch. Can't wait to see who are going to be our Final Four. Brad Newman, strong competitor. Jason Holdsworth, he's going to be a strong competitor as well, as we see everybody out here doing a little bit of laps, trying to get the rock figured out. You see there, believe that is Riley Curtis getting some laps in as he is running the bottom lane, Wes. And I know you don't race on iRacing, but in iRacing, the bottom lane is the way to go. And then once the tires start wearing, because
right.
Rockingham is definitely going to shred up some tires. Once you start getting that tire wear in, you're going to see everybody running the outside wall in turns number 1 and 2, and then going all the way to 3 and 4. But qualifying is now over. Everybody going to be able to get in the trucks, grid up, and see what our starting positions are going to be looking like, as it is Brad Newman with Lob Esports getting the pole. Jason Holdsworth for Nitro Racing starting outside row number 1. Andy Barber in P number 3 and the number 5. Ryan Barber in the 194 starting P number 4. Aaron Bohr starts off 5th position in the number 43. Tom Freer in 6th. David Lawler in 7th. Brandon Griffiths in 8th. 9th is going to be Trent Lavelle. 10th is going to be Aaron Dorman. 11th, Tom Pritchard. And rounding out your top 12 is going to be Lee Davis.
Moving on to row number 7, starting 13th, Matt Raymond, Chevrolet number 83 to his outside. It's Double D for Nitro, Dave Douglas in the 10. Row number 8, Timo Blundell in the number 4, and Kutai Dahl there in the number 55. Row number 9, Angus Lawford for Project 36 in the 52. Brian Blundell right there in the number 86 machine. We move on to the top 20, and you'll find the drivers of Mark Grocott. That's Mark Fluffy Grocott in the 73. Riley Curtis for Nitro on the outside flank in 93. Rest of the lineup of 22 drivers that are gridded and ready. Project 36 on row 11 finds Jamie Davis in 92 and Jared Gilbert in the 237. Remember, we had to have 23 or more for Holdsworth to be under attack to possibly get bumped. It might be enough here, Dylan. It might be enough here, Dylan, for Jason Holdsworth to lock himself in to the championship 4. Unbelievable.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you caught it, Wes, on the starting grid of everybody getting thrown in there, but more than half of the drivers in the top 8 in points that are fighting for the last transfer spot for the Final Four are in the top 10. You got Riley Curtis, Jamie Davis, and Angus Lawford. Those are the only drivers that are deeper in the field. I don't know if that's a good strategy, especially at Rockingham, to be deep in the field here with a tire shredded track like Rockingham. But if you show a little bit of patience and you work your way through traffic the way that you need to, anything can be possible. You just got to make sure you see everything around you and you don't get overzealous getting onto the throttle or getting harder on the brakes.
Now, you're exactly right. As Brad Newman and Jason Holdsworth, and it's looking like the front row are the 2 drivers that have already punched their ticket in. We're ready to go here at the Rock, Dylan. It's go time.
Getting ready to drop the green flag. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin out of Jason Holdsworth. Oh, the Barber's getting together. Barber goes around. Big trouble. Lap number 1. Going to keep it green. He was off the racing surface, but not what Jason Holdsworth, the Barber duo, son and father duo, did not want to see. That's another thing that we never really talked about there, Wes, is going to be the restarts on cold tires especially on that outside. It's kind of like the old Atlanta. You're not going to have a lot of grip, but everybody's going to be able to keep it clean and green. But already you can see the damage on the front end of that number 41.
Tell you what, the Barbers want redemption too in the Truck Series. Remember what happened at Talladega, Dylan, last Thursday night? Remember, we saw the Barbers 1 and 2. Of course, one was penalized, and in doing so, it took the win away and it gave it to the other Barber family member. So it's going to be fun to watch and see what goes on. Is right now Ryan Barber, Brisbane, Queensland, right there on the back straightaway. We're in the early going, and your championship points 5 are up there in the top 5 as they work through 3 and 4.
Jay, you can see there Jason Holdsworth wrapping that yellow line all the way down in turns number 3 and 4, but it's going to be Brad Newman with the race lead as of right now. A lot of drivers running the top, some of them running the middle. You can see there that little bit of a double apex. You kind of want to drift out up towards the wall and then cut it back down coming off of turn number 2 and get a really good drive off into the corner. Jason Holdsworth gets right up on that back bumper in turns number 3 and 4, but can't take any advantage of it just yet. But these two have already closed up a gap of, it looks like about maybe 6 truck lengths on the third place of Tom Freer and Aaron Borg in P number 4.
Yeah, Brad Newman comfortably up in front right now in truck 1. Then the Toyota of Holdsworth will follow. Look at some big moves on the bottom as Aaron M. Borg, the 43, another playoff contender. Tom Freer right behind him. All this going on with a couple of Chevrolets battling to get to the front runners as they climb back again into turn number 1.
Yeah, turning back into turn number 1. There you go. You got Ryan Barber on that outside, and you got 2 Project 36 machines. They're making a Barber sandwich as of right now. It's all about finding your line, which line is going to be a little bit quicker for you, and what is going to save you a little bit tire, as the 194 of Ryan Barber getting a little bit loose on that outside in turns number 3 and 4 as they come around to take lap number 7 out of 136 here tonight.
By the way, this racetrack reminds me a lot of Darlington, right? The character of this track in the Sandhills of the Tar Heel State in Rockingham, North Carolina. 22 degrees of banking. They're coming off of down 3 and 4. That's 25 degrees of banking. The tri-oval and the back straightaway known as Thunder Alley, 8 degrees right now. Great racing. Top 2 pull away as they work into.
You can see there Jason Holdsworth starting to get a little bit comfortable with the truck in the track. He's closed that gap on a Brad Newman just a little bit, but you see there coming out of turns number 1 and 2, he got a little bit tail happy. Almost slapped the wall coming out of the corner, and that's another thing you got to really watch out for. You don't want to throttle up too much. Get the front end of the truck super tight and slide up into the wall. A little bit more wheel into that number 8 machine, and he'll be good to go on his way. As that time off of turns number 1 and 2, he had a really good exit, and he's going to see what he can do, or is he going to wait behind Brad Newman and just save a little bit of tires?
Yeah, right now, Brad Newman, Holdsworth, Borg, and Freer right now. The 4 drivers currently that are around the racetrack out of the top 5. Put now David Lawler in that mix of the 136. All this goes on down to the inside. Watching Ryan Barber now battling again. Going after Lawford. This is a battle in the top 10. Angus, Ryan going at it for 8th and 9th on the racetrack as they come off 3 and 4.
You know, and Dean Hopton had a really good camera angle of the back bumper of that number 194. He's got some middle damage on that rear deck lid, and that's what's causing all that looseness in that number 194 machine. He's got a handle on it right now, but it's going to pay off a little bit more as they go down through Thunder Alley, as Dorman gets around Ryan Barber, and here comes Andy Barber. He's caught back up to the field. He's got a little bit of damage on that truck, but he's still looking pretty quick. He wants to get back up there where he was when this race started. There's a little bit of contact with Aaron Dorman.
Trying to go 3 wide there for a minute. Pritchard right now, the sandwich. He scampers away from him now. The number 10 of Dave Douglas is Ford. All this goes on now as here comes now great battling. Pritchard down to the inside of Dorman. Dorman up high as they work their way again on Ford.
Yeah, Dorman just lets him go on by, doesn't want to put himself in a position to where his race ends prematurely. He wants to finish all these 136 laps. That makes a difference in the standings on your end. Even though you're not in the championship hunt, you still want to be able to get as many positions gained and get those points to see where you end up in the final segment of this season. As just throw a blanket all over these cars, starting with Double D all the way back. And you can just jumble them all up, Wes, and see who's going to come out victorious out of this second group.
Yeah, that's Ryan Barber right now outside the top 10. He looks in the 11th spot. Now, Dylan, if you listened to Winchester on Saturday, you heard my son call some of the racing. Dean, you heard him call racing with Australian NASCAR on Tuesday. He got his butt out of bed in America, and he has joined me in the booth again. Son, good morning.
Good morning.
You like the trucks, don't you?
I like the trucks more than the cars.
Likes the trucks. He likes the trucks, Dylan. And obviously, now we got a three-man crew as obviously we're watching this great battle going on with Davis and Pritchard going again in 3 and 4.
Yeah, a little bit of bump there from the Pritchard on Jamie Davis. Got him a little bit loose, but able to keep it straight. That's another thing that they don't really want to do. They want to hit each other. They don't want to spin the rear tires. They're going to need those for later in the run, but they're still going to be side by side as Kute Dow making his way up here towards the front. He's currently sitting P number 13 on the field as he's going to try to make his way up there to the top 10. And then you got Brandon Chooch Griffiths in the number 36 trying to make a pass on Angus Lawford, as now they're going to be single file going down Thunder Alley.
Yeah, that's Project 36 now, trying to get away from those drivers. Matt Raymond watching on to the 83. By the way, people, audience, Nathan Outland is my son's name. Right now, it is Raymond down to the inside. He's going to battle Project 36 again. You got the Chooch up on the high side up against the safer barrier. He tries to get after Lawford as they work down to the inside. Raymond on the bottom.
Yeah, you see there, Chooch getting a little bit too high, coming off turns number 1 and 2, got himself into the wall, and it's actually a very daring pass to go down to the inside, West. I don't know if you've watched the trucks run here on iRacing or anything like that. The outside lane is going to be the preferred lane. You would think it's the inside, shorter way around the track. That's the way you want to do it, but the outside, you carry so much momentum. It's kind of like you're running Bristol. Bristol's going to be...
Holdsworth in trouble.
Holdsworth.
Saves the truck. No, he did not. He fell back to 10th, Dylan. Unbelievable.
Not sure if he hit the wall. The truck looks fairly clean. Maybe got a little bit too overzealous coming off the corner. Got it a little bit sideways. As going to go into a quick replay here. See what happened to the number 8 machine coming off turns number 1 and 2. Down on the bottom. Got a little bit loose.
And we got a caution, guys.
Oh,
and we got a yellow flag now. They put a caution out.
Oh,
wow.
Man. I tell you who this really benefits there, Wes. That's going to be I believe it was 194 that ended up getting spun out on lap number 1 of this race. But it's also going to help Jason Holdsworth, who had that scare coming off turns number 1 and 2. He got a little bit of damage on the driver's side left front, but it's only on the front. You can hurry up, get that into the pit road, get it all fixed, and then you should be able to go.
Guys, I'm wondering if Riley Curtis might have had a problem. The 93. We need to go back and check production. He's in the 21st position right now, and I'm wondering if Riley Curtis had something happen to him. Nonetheless, here comes a lot of the takers on pit lane. They're coming to the pits, and I think we're going to go back to production here on our broadcast and look at a replay and check out Riley Curtis, truck 93. I wonder if something happened to him. It says he's multiple laps down, but I wonder if something happened before he came to the pits. We'll see if this is what triggered the caution here, Dylan.
Hey, he's in 1 and 2. Oh, he gets on the apron a little bit.
Oh,
no, he kept it straight. Yeah.
I don't know. He just pulled onto the. He just dropped onto the pit lane. I'm just wondering if that might have triggered a caution, but I really don't think that it would do that. By the way, it looks like Chooch, Brandon Griffiths, does not pit. Neither does Kute Dow. Neither does Lee Davis. And because of that, 21 in of 136 laps, Dylan, it puts Project 36 in the lead.
Yeah, and here's going to be the next issue that a lot of these drivers are going to have. You've seen how bad the restarts were for the drivers on that outside. Now you got everybody that's behind that Project 36 machine that has tires. You're going to see the biggest difference in the world with fresh tires and old tires. It'll be amazing if Chooch can hold these drivers off for as long as he possibly can. Getting ready to come up to this next restart is he's going to think wise here, and he's going to take that inside lane, put Kute Dal up there on the top.
Nathan, what are you thinking here, buddy? Watching them here in the early going, and
Well,
obviously you got like
I've
Rockingham.
seen my pick from last race we did. Newman, he's in 5th, so I'm going with 5th. I'm going with number 1 and Newman this time.
Does it make you? I mean, I can tell you that Brad Newman is already in the championship 4.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm going with him to win the whole thing.
And that is a mulligan, if you will, for a guy, Dylan. Dylan, like Jason Holdsworth, right? Because here's the deal. If he has the less amount of trucks at 22, remember we said we needed 23 or more. He got that minimum trucks needed. So I guess a mulligan could go for Jason Holdsworth if, whatever happened. And, whoa, here we go. Trouble on the start. Oh, no. Trouble on the restart.
Big trouble. Definitely not what they wanted to see.
No.
You got Lee Davies. You got Tom Freer. Oh, man, just a lot of trucks going to be injured here in the next restart. And that's what I was talking about, Wes. That outside lane, you're going to see it here. I believe it's the 36 that starts it all. He's going to get a little bit loose. Oh, wow. The 014 tags. Oh, Aaron Borg getting tagged. Tom Freer. Oh, I believe that was either Pritchard or that was one of the Barber boys getting touched again.
Let's go back to the restart. Watch the lead truck. Watch Griffith's truck. Even though he's in the box, he fires first, right? Now, look what happened to him. But, the 014 spun the tires, got into the 136. Tom Freer nowhere to go till Pritchard slammed into his passenger door. And, man, I got a feeling, Dylan, Tom Freer might have to do this all over again. Shades of what he had to do in the Xfinity Series to make the championship 4. Listen to the restart.
Oh, yeah, big.
Oh, yeah, look at the RPMs drop. I mean, wow.
I wonder if a lot of these drivers, Wes, are starting in first gear instead of second gear on these quick little restarts.
And here's something to think about as well. Remember, they were some of the drivers that had not pitted the first caution. They didn't come down to the pit lane. So you got to wonder, I don't want to say that their tires are shot at 20 laps in the race and the run, but obviously you got tires that are fresher, new freshies, if you will, than old tires. And, listen, Rockingham is known, even in real life, Dylan, to have those issues on the restarts. I can't tell you how many races have been won and or lost on numerous occasions at the Rock because of the restarts. So, look, you want to mimic it in the simulation world? There's a prime example of it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Wes, you hit it nail on the head. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's just like the old Atlanta before they did the repave. If you started on that outside, you got to really play with your throttle a little bit to be able to get the RPMs up and that you're not wheel spinning at all. Any kind of short track, intermediate track that is flat, it's hot, it's slippery out there for a lot of these drivers. The track temp's going to be up there as well. So you also got to pay attention to that too. I wonder if anybody's over the radio saying, hey, make sure on this next restart, everybody grabs the right gear, make sure the wheel spin's under control, and let's get another nice little green flag run out here for these truck drivers. We're only 27 laps in out of 136. And Braden Chooch is kind of loving all these cautions because it's giving him more laps led. But they definitely want to make sure that everything goes the way that they planned.
Looks like they're going to make this race be single file as well because there were so many. I think it's because there was a repetitive caution on the double file restart. Caution quickly came out and they make it single file. Am I right, Dylan? So that's why we're back to green in single file formation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like the NASCAR Coke Series, where if they can't do more than 5 laps or so, and they have another caution and then another caution as well right after, they're going to go to a single file restart. And obviously, if they can get a nice green flag run, they're going to go ahead and go down and get the double thing going on. Is Brad Newman down into pit lane? So I wonder, there's a couple more drivers coming in. Pritchard and Mark Grocott all going into pit lane.
Well, he pit. They all three of them pit last time they come in.
And that is, I'm wondering if there's a penalty possibly on the that puts Aaron Borg, by the way, in the lead. But I'm wondering if there's a penalty on Newman. We'll have to find out with race control and see. That's right now, Borg, Griffiths, Raymond. There's Newman back out on racetrack. I wonder if that was a stop and go penalty for the Newman truck here of the one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure because, I mean, the way that he went into pit lane, came right back out, I wonder if he just did either a drive-through or, like you said, Wes, like you said, Wes, just a little stop and go. But Newman's not worried about it, right? I mean, he's already got the win. He can just relax, drive Miss Daisy. We both know he's not going to be able to do that.
Listen, I was at Martinsville with NASCAR last weekend, and shades of what happened to Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe, right? They both hand grenade their Joe Gibbs Gazoo Racing power plants. They go out of the Xfinity 500, but it doesn't matter because you know that they're going to race for the championship. Brad Newman knows he's racing at Phoenix next week in the Truck Series for the American or the Australian NASCAR E-Series truck title. So, hey, listen, whatever gets thrown at him, shake it off. I mentioned it about Jason Holdsworth also. Dylan, what happened to him? He's right back in the saddle again. He's up to third, bottling Raymond off too.
Yeah, he got around the number, I believe that is the 36 of Chooch. As Chooch was one of the drivers that is not pit yet, so Jason Holdsworth, you can see just how much of a difference tires are going to be making as everybody else has went down into pit lane, got some fresh tires. They are on a limited tire set too, Wes. So definitely going to pay attention to that. See who goes down, takes that early pit stop, burns that set of tires, and now Chooch under pressure from Double D and the 5 of the Barbers, as Chooch trying to hang on, is 3 wide down the front stretch.
What do you think, Nathan? Here comes Tom Freer trying to battle back on the bottom. There's contact! Douglas around! Douglas gets it, I believe, to Griffith.
He hit him hard.
Pushed him out. Oh,
there was nothing Dave Douglas could do. He locked him up, and then another Project 36 machine tried slowing down to minimize the caution damage, but just nowhere to go.
I believe that was David Lawler.
Project 36.
Yeah, David Lawler, the other truck there. Look at this again. 3 wide in the corner. That's 22 degrees of banking. Lawler into Douglas.
Tom Freer barely missed.
Wow, the 92 of Angus Lawford's the one that he got into, and
because he was the one that wrecked. What he wrecked on the 10th lap last time.
Yeah, Tom Freer. Yep. And I think he's in stealth mode also. We talked about Jason Holdsworth. Also, Tom Freer, Dylan, he's trying to rally his way back to the front. Watch this again on the bottom. The rainbow-looking 41 machine.
He
Freer
barely missed.
I mean, look, he's going to run the bottom. He's not lifting, and then they just run out of room. And monkey in the middle is Douglas. And he probably would have got away with it if Angus Lawford wouldn't hit him.
And I think that's just a miscommunication on a spotter's end there. Obviously a lot of these drivers do have the iRacing spotter on, and others use an actual crew chief. So I don't think Chooch realized that they were 3 wide at that point in time going into the corner. So he didn't realize that he had to go up a little bit more to give Tom Freer just a little bit, or not Tom Freer, had to give Dave Douglas a little bit more room than what he had to begin with. And just a racing incident. It happens, just tight racing. But with it only being 37 laps into this race, do you want to try to take those daring moves to make it 3 wide this early?
I for one, would say I just think Rockingham provides it, right? And Tom Freer had a gap. He went down to the inside. Listen, he's going to do any and everything he can to get up front. Can he get into the race by points? No. I think you're one of these guys, if Mr. Engineer, Director, Dean, if you want to throw the stats up again of the playoffs, he's in the number 5 hole, right? That's not a bad spot like Angus Lawford is, Dylan, but if he can win the race, obviously that's perfect in his part. But if he can't win the race, he got involved in an accident earlier, you're going to race and get it back to the front as fast as you can. We saw Holdsworth do it. We saw Tom Freer do it. Freer doesn't have a mulligan like less than 23 trucks when I go to the semifinal or the championship round like Holdsworth does. So gotta find a way to take advantage of any mulligan. It's like playing golf, right? If you can get a mulligan, get a birdie instead of a putt, yeah, go for it. Try to find a way to take your minuses to be pluses to get into the run to the championship 4.
Absolutely. And Tom Freer definitely going to do what he needs to do. And I mean, it's a risk versus reward type thing situation, especially for Tom Freer. He wants to see what he can do, what he can't do. Obviously, he can't do that as of right now. But getting ready to go back green is going to be Borg and it looks like Matt Raymond up there in P number 2 as they're going to dive into turn number 1 and 2. Borg out to a stronger lead this time by, as everybody going to be able to get through that first restart. No wheel spin, no jibber jabber. Everybody going down into Thunder Alley, down into turns number 3 and 4.
Well, they're back at it again. This now, look at Borg. Borg now jumping out to the top spot. How about Matt Raymond? Remember the problems on the 83 earlier. He's back to second. Holdsworth down to the inside. And Tom Freer, today's Tom Freer, high on you on Thunder Alley as he works to the back straightaway at the Rock.
You can see there, Tom Freer took that bigger arc down in turns number 1 and 2. He got a really good run. He got right up on the back bumper of Jason Holdsworth, just not able to take advantage of it. Holdsworth run in the middle in 3 and 4. He's going to be able to pull away from Tom Freer going into turns number 1 and 2, but then they switch. Holdsworth back down to the bottom, Freer back up to the top.
Yeah, again, another strong run there by Tom Freer. Couple of trucks getting antsy. Project 36 in the back behind Tom Freer. That's Angus Lawford. There's Lawler, Barber, Griffiths right there in tow as they work their way off of 4.
Yeah, everybody that is in white on the left side of your screen, those are your playoff drivers. Everybody else that's in black, those are just regular drivers just fighting for more points in the best of the rest in this season, as we're on board with Andy Barber. He's going to shoot it down to the inside. That Slacks Creek Carby's number 5 machine getting on by the number 136 as he's going to go up into the outside wall coming off turns number 3 and 4.
Another one of those drivers, as we mentioned. All this going on is, again, Barber named so close to having a family affair finish at Talladega last Thursday. Obviously, that changed. All the while, Borg, Raymond, Holdsworth right there, and here we go again. Freer right in the middle. There's contact up the hill. Goes the 52. That's Lawford. That's 4th, 5th, and 6th on the racetrack.
You've seen it there. Barber was thinking about making a 3 wide. He backed out right at the last second. And Tom Freer thought they were still 3 wide. A little bit of beating and banging in turns number 1 and 2. Able to keep it all straight and neat and tidy. Nobody got to the outside wall. Nobody spun. But it was Andy Barber put himself into that position to make Tom overthink it and get up into the number 136. And it's going to be Andy Barber on that outside trying to get around that Project 36 machine.
Great battle there down on the inside. That's Lawford. Lawford now got company. Here comes the 5 Ford. Andy Barber clears by Lawford. Put him in the number 5 spot. It's Borg, Raymond, Holdsworth, Barber, Lawford. Sounds like an Australian law firm on the back straightaway.
Yeah, you see just the gaggle of cars back here. Then you got the top 3 nose to tail. Borg had that big lead over Holdsworth and Matt Raymond, but they're right back to the back bumpers as it looked like Tom Freer was checking up just a little bit more than what the other guy behind him thought he was going to. There's a little bit of contact going in turns 1 and 2. A little bit of slippy, slidey sideways. Don't want to do that too much as Kute Dal gets a little bit loose off turn number 2.
Whoa, hold on, guys. He about got into him. More contact again. Save it, baby. You got to save it, and that's exactly what they're doing. We'll still stay green. Boy, that got crazy there for a minute. Borg and Raymond in the lead. Now you got Brad Newman climbing into the top 10. Nathan, here comes your pick, and there's contact in front of him. Oh, baby. That's David Lawler and Ryan Barber almost taking each other out in 3.
Yeah, you see it there. We had a great onboard shot of it from Brad Newman's perspective. And that's what Brad Newman doesn't want to see, right? Brad Newman wants to be out there running every single lap and get the best finish that he possibly can. He's already advanced to the Championship 4. He knows he's going to be going for a trophy. But he also wants to put that percentage of finishing races up there too, as Andy Barber getting past Jason Holdsworth now for the P3 position. And now you got Borg, Raymond, Barber, Holdsworth, and Lawford are going to be your top 5. 3 playoff drivers inside the top 5 as Borg now under pressure from Matt Raymond.
And right now we're coming up on 50 laps completed when they come to the line, this time by off turn 4. That's 86 laps to go in this race. Thanks again for joining us as again, Borg, Raymond, Barber, who you rooting for in the chat box? It's still a long way to go here at the Rock. Right now, Borg, I think we're stretching ourselves in for the long green flag run of the race right here now. Dylan, things have calmed down.
Yeah, things have definitely calmed down. I think everybody is trying to find their rhythm. They want to get into that long green flag run where they can see what their truck can do on a longer run. We haven't got to see it only for about 22, 25 laps or so before we had our first caution. But you got Barber making a pass for P number 2. He's setting his sights on to P number 1. Andy Barber not in it for the championship hunt, but he wants to make it to where somebody that is not in the playoffs or somebody that has won in the playoffs already to win this race and make it a points battle between the last 3 positions that make it to the final 4. So Andy Barber from the back to the front challenge is going to be complete. Andy Barber, new race leader out of 54 laps complete. And Jason Holdsworth slowly starting to slow up on the racetrack. He's going to be battling with Kute Dal as Kute gets around the number 36 of Brandon Griffiths. And Jason Holdsworth still running that inside lane. You can see everybody starting to migrate to that top side. But it's going to be Kute Dal getting a really good run on Jason Holdsworth. He's going to look down to the inside.
Nathan, what are you thinking so far? Obviously, watching this, we see, obviously, Barber now showing his strengths leading. Good, intense racing, starting to calm down, but keep an eye on Tom Freer.
I am.
He's climbing.
He's climbing.
A little bit of a miscommunication on the number 52 and the number 41 machine. 41 almost got hooked to the outside wall. Thought he was clear. Just a little bit of that front bumper of the number 52 caught that right rear of the number 41, but able to keep them both off the wall, keep them both facing the same direction. And we're still going to be green as we take a ride on board with Angus Lawford back in P number 9.
And Lawford now trying to make a run here on the Barber truck as they work off the corner. By the way, Tom Freer up in front of them in position number 7. All this going on now as we head towards lap number 60 of this race. 56 completed. And look at now Newman trying to climb back into the top 10. He's got behind Tom Freer. Watch the 41 and the 1. Try to get to the front and pick trucks off to get back to the P1 spot off 4.
I think within about 5 to 6 laps, Wes, you're going to start seeing all these drivers migrate to the top. They're going to go wherever the grip is. Trent Lavelle sent it in turn number 1 and 2, down to the inside. Going to put the move on that Project 36 machine up on that outside. Not going to be able to get the run off the corner. He's going to try to do it again, down in 3.
Look down on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Lavelle. Lavelle will try to make a move to close in on Newman again. All the while, he opens the door down to the outside lane, and they'll now hustle and muscle their position. Up the hill, up into the safer barrier. Goes now stride for stride. Newman and Barber door to door. This goes on going into 3.
Yeah, you can see there Newman was being a little bit patient with those drivers right in front of him. He was able to get around those 3 drivers. Now he can start setting his sights on Tom Freer in that number 41 machine. And it's crazy to think, Wes, he was a lap down before that caution. He's back on the lead lap, and now he's working his way up to the front. So I think I'm with Nathan on this race here, Wes. He's got the truck to beat, looks like.
Right now, Barber showing that momentum in the top spot. It's Barber, it's Kute Dow, followed by Aaron Borg. He's the first playoff driver. Now look at Raymond on the inside of Borg. This is going on for 3rd as they work the back straightaway. All the while, Holdsworth is watching.
Yeah, Holdsworth sitting behind them, saving those tires. That's what Jason Holdsworth does. He sits, he waits, and when he knows his time is right, that's when he's going to pounce. He's kind of like a trapdoor spider. He's going to make sure you get a little bit close, and then once you get close, he's going to attack and pounce on it as he gets to the outside wall. A little bit of aero tightness on the number 8 machine.
Yeah, Jason, there's a wall there. You don't want to get that too close for comfort. As that Riley Curtis designed Nitro Racing number 8 machine works his way around the racetrack. Now remember, statistically, scenario-wise, we're thinking Jason Holdsworth is going to the championship 4. He slams the outside safer barrier again. But Dylan, you can't race that way. He's got to have the mindset of I still need to focus and do what I need to do to get the job done. Right now, he sits in the top 5.
Yeah, sitting pretty. He's been in the top 5 this entire time, other than having that early race incident where he got loose off of turns number 1 and 2. But Aaron Borg under heavy pressure from Matt Raymond as it sits right now. Brad Newman, the bad Brad.
Newman's right behind him.
Oh, yeah, bad Brad.
Newman's right behind him.
He is absolutely on a rail.
Taking his time, working safely, lap after lap to that front spot. And Barber is now still leading. All this going on now as we work our way back down the back stretch. Look at Brad Newman, boy. Handling going away. You think tires going away as he hits that 25 degrees of banking here at the rock behind Holdsworth. Brad Newman outside the top 5 into 4.
Yeah, I think those tires were starting to go away. You can start to see everybody running way slower lap times. As Holdsworth,
wow,
a little bit loose and up into the outside wall. Holdsworth not having a good time out here on those older tires, as he's going to drop back a couple more spots.
It has been that way for several occasions now, where Holdsworth eats the outside wall. Now he tries to get back on the gas again, falls back to 7th position. While that goes on, it's Borg, Raymond, and Newman now battling for the top 5. 3rd through 5th single file here in turn 3.
Yeah, riding on board with Aaron Borg. Looking off the back deck lid of the Adaptive 1 caliper.
Caution!
As we have a caution out on the racetrack. Oh, no.
Ryan Barber.
No.
Wow. Unbelievable.
What happened?
Here's a look at a replay. Watch it. Ryan Barber. He's got Griffiths in front of him. He's got down to the inside the 36 and the 86. So there's contact there.
No. They just got sideways.
Barber around. Maybe we can see it from another angle again.
Right on board with Ryan Barber. Midway through the corner. Oh,
There's
yeah.
another truck behind him, and I really believe Brian Blundell got to the left rear. Let's watch it from another angle. Watch Blundell. That's the blue, green, and white truck on the inside. Maybe not intentional, but I think they just ran out of room and there's contact. No, it is net code. It is the NC word. Wow.
I just got sideways.
Definitely not what you want to see. You hate to see it, especially with the NC that heavy and that
Water
strong
drivers pitted.
on that
Yeah,
number
they tell us,
194.
you know, Dylan, they frown at us and tell us not to say that word, but I mean, it's a lack. Bottom line, that is what net code is, and I mean, it's not. It's just a basically a difference of the servers not meshing together like they should in sync, and you see what happens. Yeah. So basically, it predicts packets of where these simulation machines would be, and it's thinking that it's going to be in that part at that time. And when it happened, he wasn't there, or he was there, even though he wasn't there, right, Dylan? It's imaginary. Hey, Halloween's tomorrow, right? Halloween's today for you guys later on tonight, but I heard y'all Australians don't really celebrate Halloween. But anyhow, yeah, oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, a little spooktacular there. There you go.
Is we got everything up on the screen. So if you guys are going to be out there enjoying the festivities tomorrow night, hopefully all the children that have the awesome parents to take them out for trick-or-treating, hopefully everybody goes out, has fun, stay safe, and make sure you get them all the candy that they want. Let them eat all the candy too.
I'm calling a Munster. I'm calling a Munster football game tomorrow night. So that is what I'm doing for Halloween.
And I'm gonna be here by myself tomorrow.
No trick or treating, you know. So
well,
we'll wait for the candy to go on clearance, and then you know clearance sell everything must go. Right?
What do I do if the kids come to the door? What do I do?
Just scare them off.
No, so what I'll do.
Use your deep voice. Use your deep voice to be like, "Get out of here." Yeah, there you go. Pace truck is in. We're coming back to green. If only our audience could hear Dean on the other side. Dylan, we're back underway.
Yeah, Ryan or Andy Barber going to lead us back to the green flag, and then you got Aaron Borg on that outside. But here comes Newman. Matt Raymond into the corner. Wow. Jason Holdsworth getting involved.
You got a good
right
there.
What they wanted to see. Trent Lavelle involved. Oh, man. I thought that was just such a great restart, and then it
Can
went
I say
sideways.
something, Dylan? 3 of the 5 restarts of this race has caused cautions. Watch this again. Wow, they try to stack it 4 wide. Freer, does he get up there? No, there's contact. Holdsworth into Lavelle. Lavelle gets around Raymond. Raymond tags into the wall. Douglas again collected. That's what happened. Holdsworth, by the way. Man.
Yeah, Trent Lavelle. I think maybe by looking at it, the big checkup. So Kute and Aaron Borg had a big checkup. Trent Lavelle wanted to miss the accident and got to the outside of Jason Holdsworth. And I don't think Jason Holdsworth hit the outside wall, maybe. But if you want some memorabilia, there's some deck lid down to the number 8 pit stall. He's going to go ahead and autograph it for you. Just a little $4.99 to get yourself started.
Watch this again as there's Lavelle. There's contact. Around goes Raymond. Douglas into the fence. Griffiths as well. My goodness. Hey, Dean, go back to the front of the restart. Nathan, watch the one of Brad Newman here. He tries to go right up under the back end of Barber, and he tries to stick it 3 wide before the wreck happened. Yeah. This is in the back, but watch right there. Look at this, Dylan. Down on the bottom. Look at the one. And then he backed away when the caution came out.
Yeah, just
Brad Newman was trying to go to the lead, guys.
Yeah, Brad Newman wanted that lead, and you can see it there. He tried to time the restart just perfect, just a little bit too soon.
Look
But
at this.
man, if he would have timed that restart perfect there, Wes, I think we would have had a 3 wide going into turn number 1 and 2.
Yeah, we might have had another crash. Oh, man.
A lot of tore up race cars under that caution, as I believe they're going to go down and get those. I'll look on board on
Watch
Jamie
the 92.
Davis.
Yeah, 92 Jamie Davis. Look at this. It's like Days of Thunder. The rule is you go straight forward. There you go. Dean's picked to win the race is Jamie Davis in 92, by the way, up to 7th. He's the guy that did a phenomenal job to miss that crash. All right, so there you see it again as they come down Thunder Alley. They're going to be single file, Dylan, and the reason why, as you said, is because we had a restart double file. They crashed. We go for a restart here at lap number 75. Man, this one's going by quickly. 61 to go when they come back to green, my friend. They're heading your way.
I can tell you what other cars are really fun to drive here after this restart, and we get everybody back going as Aaron Borg going to lead these drivers back to a green flag race conditions. You can see everybody trying to be as easy as they can on the throttle pedal. Doesn't want to get all the tire spin and lose more positions than what they have as they roar down Thunder Alley on lap number 76.
See what happens now, Jamie Davis. There's the pick for Dean, up to 5th, maybe more. Project 36 on a roll.
Yeah, he's looking to make it up there to the front. And then you got Barber, Borg, Newman, Barber, and then Jamie Davis. Going to be your top 5. 4 of the 5 playoff drivers, or 4 of the top 5 are all playoff drivers. So Newman locked in. Barber kind of locked in if he gets the race win, or if he finishes better than Tom Freer and others down below him. And then you got Borg, who is currently P3 in the standings for going into Phoenix next week, Wes. He's in a prime position in the lead, wants to be the man that locks himself in with a win and not to do it on points.
And all this going on now. And, man, you think of what Davis did to climb all those spots, miss the accident, if you will. He's up 16th position. He's showing his strengths right now in that number 5 spot. Right there alongside behind him is Dorman, Blundell, Lawford, Blundell, Kute Dow back to 10th, and up in front of him is Barber and Newman. All this going on. Borg in the lead. Barber, Newman, Barber. Newman's in the middle of that sandwich now as they go back into turn 3.
Yeah, everybody just trying to jockey for position as of right now. Want to get all the positions that they can and then settle in. They don't want to run these tires ragged the first 5 to 10 laps. They want to take it easy and just be where they want to be at. And you can see there, Aaron Borg got a really good restart, pulled out to about 10 truck lengths. And there you see it on the screen. Everybody has caught back up to Aaron Borg. He's starting to slow his pace down a little bit. Just wants to get through these next couple of laps and then see what he can do on the final stretch of this race.
Nathan, what are you watching here, buddy? We're seeing Newman come back to the front, but obviously still a long way to go in this thing.
I'm watching Newman and I'm watching Borg.
Watching Newman, watching Borg.
I don't know which one. I don't know which one Barber to watch because there's 2 of them.
Yeah, there is. The 5 is obviously Andy Barber, Ryan Barber, and obviously, if you remember, the Barber family was looking to have a phenomenal finish at Talladega last Thursday night in the race, in race 2 of the round of 8, Dylan, and one driver got disqualified, too many incident points, and obviously the other Barber got the win. He wasn't happy with it. But obviously, a good, strong run now as the Barber family are right there looking for a chance to make a family affair here at the Rock in 2nd and 5th, or correction, 2nd and 4th on the back straightaway.
Yeah, you can see there Ryan Barber waiting patiently right behind that Lob Esports driver, Brad Newman. Going to follow him all the way around the racetrack, right in his tire tracks, essentially, and wants to pick up where Brad Newman's beating him off the corner, beating him into the corner, or even down the straightaway. Is Barber going to look all the way up to the outside wall? He's going to cut it down, get a good run off turn number 1 and 2. He's not going to try to make the pass. He's going to stay behind the number 1. One's going to dive down to the inside. Barber to the top.
Closing in on 50 laps to go when they come back to the stripe here, 51 remaining. Aaron Borg continue to lead the way. There's a new law firm in town for the Aussie world. It is the law offices of Barber, Newman, and Barber. They continue to go at it for second, third, and fourth. Bouncing off the wall and more as they go to the back straightaway. The Barber family in front of Newman in 3.
Looks like Ryan Barber still on that outside. Has Brad Newman pinned down to the inside. Brad Newman's not going to let him get away with it that easily. He's going to battle him tooth and nail. Almost contact there between the 194 and the number 1 machine. Able to keep it clean off of each other. Brad Newman still rolling that inside, though. He's going to scoot up to the outside and not giving a lot of margin for error for the number 194. A little bit of a wall scrape coming off 4.
And right now, Aaron Borg loving this, though he's not pulling away. 4 contact. Barber into the outside wall. Contact with Newman. Newman scampers on the gas and pulls away. Lufford now. Jamie Davis, check that. Moves to 4th. Ryan Barber back to 5th. They still stay green as he hits the wall in 1.
Oh, not what Ryan Barber wants to see, as he's going to drop back into the field once again. He's going to try to get that truck back up there towards the front. Jamie Davis now, currently your 4th place position out there on the field. And then right behind the Ryan Barber, you got Angus Lawford waiting in the coattails to see him have a mistake out here on the racetrack. And what's weird, Wes, is I have not seen anybody take that apron yet along the front straightaway. I think they might be waiting just in case if they get a good run.
Borg in the lead. It's Aaron Borg. Look at this now. Ryan Barber trying to pick up the pieces, if you will, going after the 92 of Jamie Davis. And here comes help. Project 36. Angus Lawford, Dylan McDonald, and is the Outland family. My son Nathan in the booth. I'm Wesley and Dylan. The battle between Barber and Newman is heating up again as he's raining back down.
He's raining him back down. He wants redemption now on that number 1 machine. Wants to get around him, get clear of the number 1. He's got a little bit of time to think about what he wants to do, if he wants to be on the outside of Brad again or if he wants to be down on the inside. But Brad putting the pressure on Andy Barber as of right now. Then you got Borg. He's loving what he's seeing in his mirror. He's like, yeah, you guys go ahead. You guys fight, battle it out. While you guys do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull away.
I'll tell you what, Nathan, what are you watching here, buddy, as we're heading to the home stretch of this thing?
Newman fixing to take second.
He thinks Newman's going to move to the number 2 spot. Could that happen here?
He is.
Wow.
He's in second.
I think he just made it happen, and he's not done yet.
The driver going 1 lap down, back to the lead lap, back up to second. Furthest he's been down is 20th. Highest he's been is 1st since he started on the pole. Brad Newman back up in the top group.
What a great show we've seen. And obviously, remember, the final race will be decided, as Dylan mentioned, the Championship 4 next Thursday night. We got, of course, Phoenix. And don't forget, pretty much all of the races after tonight will be championship races. Am I right, Dylan? You got the Australian NASCAR Championship Sunday Series. I think they're going to go to Vegas for their finale. And no, I'm sorry, Homestead. They're going to go to Homestead for their finale on the Sunday night, November the 9th. But for the other series, next Tuesday night, next Thursday night, Xfinity and Trucks will be at Phoenix as we see Newman going after Aaron Borg trying to win to go to the top 4 final. Brad Newman's already in. He's got nothing to lose down to the inside.
Yeah, you can see there Aaron Borg trying to get down to the inside to block that run from Brad Newman. But he gave him the room. He knew he was going to be there by the time they got into the corner. Brad Newman high up in the outside wall as Aaron Borg slaps it just a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely made him fight for that spot. Nathan, you said keep an eye on the one at Brad Newman. He's there. Brad Newman up in front.
From dropping
he
started on the podium. Started on the podium, dropping to the back, going to be in a lap down, coming back up and getting the first place again.
What a strong run here, Dylan, is right now we watch the leaders work their way to the back straightaway. This is going on again.
Oh, Freer's out.
Everybody is trying to do what they need to do.
The 41, he's out.
Freer's out. Tom Freer is out of the race. Unbelievable. What do you think, Dylan? Is it enough, though, to punch him in? Possibly. I don't know.
No, I believe our final 4 is going to be what you see in the top 4 right now, unless Angus Lawford or Jamie Davis comes up and steals a win. Then you'll have Brad Newman, Jason Holdsworth, Jamie Davis, and then Aaron Borg, or you'll have Brad Newman, Jason Holdsworth, Angus Lawford, and Aaron Borg as well.
Can we say this? Can we say this though? Ryan Barber and Angus Lawford are in the hunt. They're in the top 5 in the 6th position right now. They could possibly make some noise here as we just put lap 100 on the board. 35 laps to go at the Rock. Next time by at the line.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of noise coming in through this racetrack. They call it Thunder Alley for a reason, but everybody's got something to fight for. If you have a white on your banner on the left side of your screen is Aaron Borg. You're going to get passed by Andy Barber for P number 2. So Andy Barber, not one of the playoff contenders, but still going to try to make some noise and see if he just can't get his win at the Rock.
Brad Newman in the lead. There you see everyone else now. That is Barber and Borg fighting it out for second and third. Then it's Ryan Barber, Kute Dow, Angus Lawford here, Kitty. They're in the mix now behind the top 5 of the back straightaway on Thunder Alley.
Yeah, you can see it there. Everybody's battling a little bit of tightness coming off turns number 1 and 2. And, you know, Wes, right before that restart, I said another car combo that's really good here at The Rock is the 1987 Cup cars. This place in the 87 Cup cars, this is my style of racing, especially with the single files. And you really got to watch what you're doing and really get on the brakes, get off the gas, let the car settle before you get back on the gas. The 87s around this track, definitely a fun combo. If you haven't tried it, it's really fun, especially all the people out there that are on iRacing into doing it. It's good down a little bit loose coming off turn number 4.
And we're going to go 3 wide again. 3 wide. Oh, baby. Lawford is licking his chop. And let me in here. I want to get in the battle. He goes high. Goes around Barber. Will he? Yes, he will on the high side in 3 and 4.
You want to talk about putting your cojones on the dash and sticking to the outside. That's exactly what Angus Lawford did. He put him up on the dash and said, "Hold my beer. I'm gonna show you what this number 52 can do."
What you got? Pucker up, Buttercup. Time to go, Lawford, and now Barber. Going again here. Can they pit? Can they go the distance? I'm wondering. Last time a lot of them pitted was 69 to 74. Part of me wants to say they could go the distance, but I could be wrong here, Dylan. What do you think?
I'm thinking they're going to have to pit one more time in this race to get everything going. I'm going to see if I just can't see if anybody has said anything about the fuel ratios Looking at the track notes here so far, not looking at fuel windows, as they just let you know exactly how many pits or tires you have.
We get a late race caution, it'll change anything.
Yeah, nothing
I
about
wonder if that is what's
how
going to
many
happen
laps.
here.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't say anything about how many laps they can go on a tank of fuel, but if I remember correctly, you're going to be cutting it close. They're definitely going to have to be pitting again. Well, I mean, lap 69. Yeah, I think we're going to see a late race or not caution, but pit stops with at least 20 to 15 laps to go, or I may even be wrong.
Part of me wants to say this. Part of me wants to say they can go the distance. I really do. Now, if you pit it around 73, 74, I think you're okay. Lap 69, I think you're going to be on fumes. That's my prediction. Now, if we get a late race caution, Douglas and Project 36, oh boy, there's Lawford again, fighting for 5th and 6th. If we get a late race caution, Dylan, which could happen, tires are getting slick, the track's abrasive, it could happen. If we get that, then I got a feeling everybody's coming down to the pit lane. And if they don't think of pitting, the ones that were like around lap 69 or so are going to have to, because they are going to have to get fuel. I don't think they could go the distance.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Is Ute Dow gets around Aaron Borg, a little bit of a misstep to the right for that number 55 machine, but he's going to be able to get through to it. But while we were watching Dave Douglas and Lawford, Douglas got loose again, coming off turns number 3 and 4, tagged the 52 of Lawford. He kind of went up into the outside wall. He's able to keep it straight. Everybody trying to find the grip that they need to get around this slippery racetrack. It's the track temp is 111 degrees out here, Wes. So
yeah,
it's definitely not something that is good on the tire wear, but this is what drivers are made of right here. You can definitely tell who's been saving their stuff and who can run on this hot, slick, greasy track.
And you're going to notice lap after lap, pushing these trucks to the limit, pushing up as high as you can without hitting the wall. And guys are going to hit the wall. They're going to get scurvy. They're going to get sideways. They're going to be dirt tracking it. You're going to start seeing slide jobs and crossovers. Look at this again. Watch them. They're already getting sideways coming off of 3 and 4 there, Dylan. Watch the exit of turn 2 again.
Yeah, you can see there, they're just trying to find all the grip. Andy Barber, a little bit loose. Not as bad as what I thought he was going to be, running that super high lane. And like I said earlier in the broadcast, Wes, the outside lane has a lot of momentum, and you got to keep the momentum up by giving it a little bit more throttle than what you would down on that inside.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to burn up a little bit more tire wear than what you normally would, but the fast lane is on that high side. If you want to make all your passes, that's where we've seen it here tonight, the majority of the time on that outside.
Nathan, we're closing in on 20 laps to go. Your pick, Brad Newman, is up in front.
I just don't know if he can keep holding it off because he pit last time, but he's already at 69 laps.
He pitted at lap 69. That's the last time he pitted.
As you see
Under
there,
20 to go.
Aaron Dorman right behind the number 194 of Ryan Barber. He's going to get down to his inside. He's going to keep him honest. He's going to try to get on around him. But it might not be enough, as I think maybe Ryan Barber might just let him go. Doesn't want to be out, but a caution.
Wow, there it is.
Brings it out. Oh,
This is what we talked about. Mark Fluffy Grocott has put out a yellow flag. This changes everything with 18 to go when they come to the line. Watch the 73.
Oh.
Contact. He got into another Project 36 machine. I want to say that's Chooch. Brandon Griffiths collected. Oh no!
Oh, look at
How about Pritchard going through the middle, man? Talk about the parting of the Red Seas out of the Bible. Watch again. In real time here, Dylan. Watch this. Look. Oh, man.
That's what you call if you blink it, you miss it. But on the bright side, if anybody wants any memorabilia, go on down to the 36 pit stall. He's going to have that right front or the left front fender autographed, signed, chopped up, ready to go for all the kids and adults that want to have a little bit of Project 36 memorabilia. All you got to pay is $5, man. $5 for a piece of memorabilia? Oh,
That's
man,
right.
I would take that.
Here comes everybody. And when I mean everybody, I mean everybody. It is the money stop. It is the most important pit stop of the season right here. As our producer just said in our ear, Dylan, you got to be flawless. You got to have a perfect pit stop. And that's exactly where we're watching right now.
Yeah, this is going to be the good stop here. This is what you
No
pay your
mistake.
pit crew to do. As looking on board, Newman in his pit. Here comes Holdsworth. He's making his way into pit lane. Everybody going to be able to take their last set of
Newman
tires
first.
Here. Yep.
Newman, the race off pit road, sees Newman, Barber, Lawler, Borg, Douglas, your top five coming off of the pit lane. Brad Newman's already locked into the advance of the championship four. But by God almighty, Dylan, it doesn't mean he can't win again. Holdsworth still on pit road to the 8.
Yeah, Brad Newman wants to take 0 prisoners. He wants to make sure everybody knows that he is here to stay. But with that being said, Wes, I want to thank everybody out there who is watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who tunes in here tonight. I want to give a big shout out to Nitro Racing for coming on board and sponsoring this series on the A&E Truck Series exclusively on the Australian NASCAR E-Series YouTube channel. I want to thank everybody out there who is following along, commenting who their favorite driver is. If you guys want to, you guys can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on all bell notifications so you guys don't miss anything that the Australian NASCAR E-Series has to offer every Thursday night, every other Sunday night, and every Tuesday night here on Australian NASCAR E-Series.
Yeah, that's right. Don't forget next Tuesday night, next Thursday night, like tonight, will be the championship races, the Australian NASCAR E-Series, BMG X Series, the trucks. They will be decided at Phoenix, and then that Sunday night, November the 9th, the championship for the Australian National Championship will be at Homestead. Back to green, 15 to go. Still got plenty of racing left with Newman on the gas in turn 2 down Thunder Alley there, Dylan.
This is the point in the race where you don't even want to consider saving tires. You want to be in that go or flight mode right now. And that's what Andy Barber's doing up there in the number 5 machine. He is on a flight mode right now. He wants to get around this track as quick as he possibly can. Same with Aaron Borg. He's on the same strategy as well. He wants to get himself up there and lock himself in with a win. But it's one thing to catch somebody, Wes. It's totally different to pass them. And one thing we both have seen all season long, Brad Newman will make that truck as wide as the track will let him.
But look at this big wad of trucks battling behind second. That's third through what? 8th, 9th position. Storm brewing. One wrong move, but you got calamity. That's Dow and Borg and Lawford and Douglas and Lawler and Davis. They're all fighting for it like it's the last piece of candy in the Halloween bucket for your trick-or-treaters as they work off 4. Oh! He's riding off the safer barrier, and the caution is out. The purple machine, Dorman in trouble.
It don't look like nobody. He got contact with nobody.
Unbelievable.
As one would say, you can't park there.
Wow.
But that was a violent hit that Dorman took.
Did a tire blow? Did he go too high and lost control? Watch this again, Aaron Dorman, and he does go into the fence. And it was just in the perfect place to rim right off the safer barrier till he crossed the start-finish line. And then he still goes on his side until going upside down there. Unbelievable, Dylan.
I think Aaron Dorman took a page out of Clinton Boyer's handbook there, wanted to finish upside down or on his side. But he's still got a couple more laps to finish before he can do that. Oh, a little bit loose, overcorrection, kapow.
You know what it reminded me of? You remember the movie Stroker Race with Burt Reynolds?
Yep.
I was in the car. That's the way how's that for spectacular? If you remember when he was running Charlotte for the finale. Yeah. How's this for spectacular? Crossing the start-finish line up on the wall upside down. That's exactly what Dorman just did. By the way, Holdsworth back on pit road again. So is Griffiths. And we set ourselves up for, what do we got, an 8-lap shootout? It's a 9-lap shootout coming up?
Yeah, it looks to be about that. You're going to have a quick, I think it's going to be a single-file restart. But looking at the playoff standings as of right now, Holdsworth, Borg, Ryan Barber are going to be your top 4. Borg is sitting P3. Lawford is sitting 5th. Davis
Ryan Barber's 9th.
Yeah. Oh, this could be a big point shakeup here.
And for the longest time, Ryan Barber was up in the front. Yeah, you're right. Ryan had been up in front for a long time. And now he's fell back into the top 9th position. So Jamie Davis, by the way, is in 8th. He's in position 8 on the playoff bracket also. And I've pretty much been told he's got to win. So
yeah, Jamie Davis. I believe Jamie Davis and Angus Lawford are both in must-win conditions. But it is NASCAR. Anything can happen.
Who was out? Understanding, yes, Riley Curtis and Tom Freer are out. So that's really going to make it interesting because they came in +3 to the good, -3 and -8. So me and Dylan got a feeling that the 4 that you see up in the championship 4 are going to be the ones to advance. Unless somebody pulls a rabbit out of a hat, goes for a Hail Mary. We're about to find out. Double file restart here. We're concluding our 7th caution here, Dylan. 8 laps to go. Still in regular race distance on lap 1:28. Pace cars in. We're about to go back to green at the Rock, my friend.
Green, green, green.
Barty's got the green flag in his hand. Brad Newman fires off on that inside. A little bit of wheel spin from a couple of the drivers, but everybody going to be able to keep it single file and good as Borg takes over P2, double file through the pack off turns number 1 and 2, hard on the outside wall. I believe that was Jamie Davis or Lawford, as just a lot of cars just trying to get wherever they can, but Borg trying to do something to catch up to that number 1.
Here he goes. Look at this 3 wide again. Hold on. That's the 52 of Lawford in the middle. All this going on down the back straightaway off Thunder Alley. Back into that 25 degrees of banking. Keep an eye on that truck of David Lawler. Keep an eye also on Kute Dow. They're coming to the front. Dave Douglas. He had some problems earlier. What a great truck that's been strong in weeks of late. The number 10 trying to get to the top 5 with now 5 to go. Next time by on the back straightaway, the leaders are.
Yeah, the 10 of Dave Douglas not running for the championship, but is having fun out there racing with everybody. He got out of the booth, put himself down there in the race truck this season. And you can just tell Wes, just by how he races, he's having so much fun out there with everybody driving these tracks. Aaron Borg under heavy pressure from the number 5 of Andy Barber. Andy Barber back down to the inside. He's going to try to take over P2.
By the way, keeping an eye on Jamie Davis, Ryan Barber. They're 7th and 10th, and we're 3 wide. Douglas on the bottom. He thought about it, threaded the needle. 4 to go at the Rock. That's 4 miles remaining there in turn number 2.
Yeah, Dave Douglas is trying to get and find any way to get around Kute Dow into the outside wall for another time, but it's going to be Dave Douglas down on that inside trying to get around Kute Dow and the number 52 of Angus Lawford. Lawford, Borg, nose to tail, 3rd and 4th. Good points day for both of these drivers. Just wants to bring it home in one piece. And now Dave Douglas going to try to get a little twofer going into turns number 3 and 4.
Nathan, this is going on behind the leader, Brad Newman. Look at this storm coming out of 3 and 4 with 2 to go.
Oh, yeah. I think Newman's is not even worried about behind him. He's just looking in front, not even looking back.
And remember, he's already advanced to the championship 4, but there's nothing wrong with keeping on winning. P1, contact, truck loose, Douglas sideways, another truck sideways, dirt tracks it, number 4, Timo Blundell, front nose, into the safer barrier, truck makes contact, they throw a caution, no, white flag, final time around, Brad Newman leading.
Brad Newman, final lap, this race is going to be official with the way that it runs. We thought there was going to be a caution with Tim Blundell getting loose and spitting it out in turns number 3 and 4. But off turns number 3 and 4 for the final time, Brad Newman.
Oh, we got sideways coming in.
Stretch. He's going to go ahead and take home the win. Andy Barber in P number 2, and rounding out your top 3 is going to be Aaron Borg here at the Rock.
Brad Newman burning it down. He's already looking like he's drifted there. He looked like
yeah.
Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Do a little Tokyo drift. He's already going to the championship round. He's going to Phoenix to race for a title, but now he's won 2 straight playoff races, or at least 2 playoff races in the round of 8. Race number 1, race number 3, and truck number 1, make no doubt, is calling his shot, if you will, with 1 race remaining in the season. Dylan McDonald, Brad Newman wants to be number 1. One thing for certain, he's number 1 tonight here at the Rock.
Absolutely drove an amazing race, went from 1 lap down back up to the lead and got the win. As we have the final standings up on the screen, we'll go ahead and read these down, and after that we'll get a quick message from our sponsors and commercials. It's going to be Brad Newman with the race win here tonight. Andy Barber in 2nd. 3rd is going to be Aaron Borg. 4th is going to be Angus Lawford. 5th, Kute Dow. 6th, Dave Douglas. 7th, Ryan Barber. 8th, David Lawler. 9th, Jamie Davis. Running out your top 10 is going to be Brian Blundell. 11th, Jason Holdsworth. 12th, Tim Blundell. 13th, Trent Lavelle. 14th, Tom Pritchard. 15th, Brandon Chooch Griffiths. 16th is going to be Lee Davis. 17th, Aaron Dorman. 18th is going to be Mark Grocott.
Rest of the finishing order, we'll find Matt Raymond, Tom Freer. How will it shake out? Normally they try to give us at Australia NASCAR E-Series race control for the trucks and Xfinity who the championship 4 are before we go off the air. I'm sure we will. He'll end up 20th. Is it enough? Riley Curtis, by the way, 21st. Jared Gilbert did not start the race, so 21 trucks credited for starting this race. We were having this discussion before we came on the air. Jason Holdsworth, I know he finishes 11th, but is it enough to advance into the championship 4 from 2nd? We think so. We'll see what happens with the other positions, but obviously Brad Newman. I'll tell you what, Nathan, you called the shot. You said he was going to be the guy to win this thing. And what a strong truck that number 1 Chevrolet was here.
Oh yeah, I think I'm not jumping straight to conclusions, but I'm thinking. I don't know. Some of Aaron Borg, he's actually pretty fast too. Not gonna lie, he was on his tail the entire time.
Yeah, the Barbers, Dylan looked really, really good as well. I mean, anybody at any other time could have won this race, but I think that statement was made not only by the number 1 in the pit stop, the money stop that we mentioned at lap 119, when he came down to the pit lane in a late race caution with under 20 to go, he got back up in front. He never looked back. And can I say this as well too, Dylan? He had flawless restarts in those last remaining moments of the race. Big kudos to Brad Newman. Obviously, we'll see what he can do to try to close the chapter and be in champion next Thursday.
Absolutely. Right before we get the drivers in here, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break, get some liquids on our throats, get our voices back, and get our top three into the booth. But we'll be right back after these quick few messages here tonight.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here with the A&E Truck Series, waiting for our race winner to get in the booth. But we're going to go jump down to our second place finisher. That is going to be the number 5 of Andy Barber. Andy, one hell of a race here tonight, finishing P number 2. Obviously, you wanted to be part of that top 8 to get a chance to win the race and get yourself locked into the championship 4. Describe how the beginning of the race, the middle, and the end of this race went for you in that number 5 machine.
Well, thanks, Dylan. Yeah, no, it's a good race overall. And yeah, I'd probably like to forget the first part of the race, especially on that first lap. You know, a lot of wheel spin issues on restarts here tonight, which is expected. But yeah, no, we worked through the tyre set and we kind of stayed out a little bit longer and worked it more towards the end of the stints. And hopefully we had to set up the end of the race for the third set, the stint, and we seemed to grab that at the right time because it seemed to kind of hang in there. And just tonight, Junior and Borgie were the priority. So yeah, that's the way we were trying to run that tonight.
Tell you what, Barber, man, a really strong effort you had tonight. If there was anything that you could have done differently to try to run down Newman or, you know, to try to win, obviously coming off of that Barber moment at Talladega last week before it was taken away, you know, what's your take of just racing around this place at the Rock and survival, I guess, is key here too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right, and that's why it's imperative in these kind of scenarios to really qualify up the front and start up there. Just try and keep out that mid-pack, especially with corners where you can get loose on the exits out of 2 as well. And yeah, no, you really got to look after your stuff, and a lot of it is risk versus reward. So we kind of felt like we did that tonight, and we all worked as a team together, and yeah, we just couldn't go one better. And I battled Brad as hard as I could in the back end of that second stint and held him off as best as I could. But yeah, I don't think I could have done anything else different tonight. And we had a fast car and it got there on the podium in the end. So we're quite happy with that.
Well, buddy, we enjoyed having you up here and running a phenomenal race here in that number 5 machine. But before we let you get out of here, celebrate that second place finish. If there's anybody on that number 5 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, no worries. Just shout out to our sponsors, RBI Trading Cards, Mrs. Excel Garage, Sydney Pool Servicing, Slack Street Carbies, TwistX as well. Thanks to you guys up in the broadcast booth and everybody involved in the league admin that makes this happen. The commentators, Wesley, he's great to watch afterwards. I'm sure he wakes his neighbours up at 6 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, just shout out to my mum.
I have a soundproof room. I have a soundproof room. I promise you.
Oh, you do.
Andy.
All right, cool. I didn't know if you I didn't know if you were on like acreage or not, but I was hoping you were. So, but yeah, no. And just lastly, my parents and my mum down from Brisbane, shout out and love to her. And yeah, no. To cap it all off, we'll just give a shout out and a happy birthday to Chase, Borgie's younger fella. So you'll probably hear more on that later.
There you go.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our second place finisher here tonight at the Rock. We're now joined by our race winner. That's going to be the number 1 of Bad Brad Newman. Brad, you started on the pole. Not sure if you had a penalty there towards the middle or first segment of that race. You went down pit lane. You got put 1 lap down. You got your lap back with that caution, and it was kind of go time from there. You strategically made your way up to the front, and that's where you were the rest of this race.
Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, the penalty was with the guys that stayed on old tyres. You might have recalled one of them spinning or a couple of them spinning. When they went up the track, I got a passing on the inside penalty. So it's just one of those things that can't do anything about. Just happens.
Well, when that happened, Brad, obviously, did that put you in a different stealth mode, right? Was you frustrated, or was it just, I got a really strong truck, and I'm going to show you guys how good my truck is, right? I mean, you know you're going to the championship for, but I guess it's that thirst of winning, continuing to win, and wanting to continue to keep winning, right? Congratulations, by the way, on career win 23 tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, no, nothing changed. It's a long race, and people were all over the place. I always knew there'd be a chance for lucky dogs or plenty of them. So, yeah, nothing really changed. Just same as always.
Well, Brad, you ran a phenomenal race. Obviously, you're getting ready to gear up for the championship race next week at Phoenix. Can't wait to see what you have to show these gentlemen and everybody out here on the racetrack next week. But, Brad, if there's anybody on that number 1 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Thanks, mate. Just you guys, as always, for putting these events on. The guys that loves esports. Thank you.
All right, this is going to be our race winner here tonight. Bad Brad Newman, starting on the pole, getting the race win. Going to go ahead and move on board to our third place finisher. That's going to be the number 43, Aaron Borg. Aaron, you tried the triumphs of you wanting to get this race win. You thought you had it in the bag, but that late race caution, and then with Brad being on somewhat newer tires, what more did you need to try to rush down the back of the number 1 and 5 to get your next victory here to lock yourself into the playoffs?
Yeah, thanks, guys. I think Brad was probably just a bit too quick for us all day, all night, and yeah, I tried adjusting the truck through the pit stops and got it to a good point, but then I probably just went a little bit too far in that last pit stop and just made it a bit too loose, which was a bit hard to stay with them at the end there. But yeah, still good fun.
Aaron, do you feel like, since you can't win the race, and at one time you led, you were really strong, but do you feel like you've done everything in your power to put yourself into the championship for?
Yeah, that was obviously the main thing, to try and get into that. Always going for a win, but to be honest, I didn't get any laps before I jumped in tonight on the server because it's my little boy's first birthday, so we were doing a fair bit for that tonight, and yeah, so jumped in last minute, and yeah, good to run up the front still.
For everybody that's got birthdays, can I give a shout out to my dad? My dad's got a birthday today. Today his 62nd birthday. So happy birthday, Dad! I love you. He's probably in bed right now, and I think Nigel Siddell's mom is also celebrating a birthday too. So Nigel's mom for the birthday. There you go. There you go. Nothing like being close to Halloween babies, right?
Double the candy.
I'm a summer kid.
But, Mr. Aaron, you ran a great and phenomenal race here tonight. You can't be too mad about the P3 here tonight. You did exactly what you needed to do. You led some laps. You kept it up towards the front. You kept the car clean as best as you possibly could with those restarts. But if there's anybody on that number 43 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
yeah, thanks to you guys as always for putting on the show and keeping us all entertained. And yeah, thanks to the guys at Southern Stars Esports, Tom, Andy, Ryan. Always good fun having a chat with them while we're racing. So yeah, looking forward to next week.
All right, that's going to do it for our top 3 here tonight. Wesley, 136 laps up and down. We thought we were going to have that green-white checkered there towards the end with Tim Blundell getting in the outside wall, but the leader crossed the start-finish line before the caution was able to be out and made it all the way official. The total distance, no laps added. Any takeaways for this race here, Wes?
Well, the suspense is killing me to find out who we're going to the championship for. But Nathan, son, what's your take of what we saw in this race? What was your thoughts of the event at the Rock?
The event at the Rock, as I'm saying, Brad Newman, he's got a fast truck. Aaron Borg, he's got a fast truck. So if they could figure out something different to keep it up front, because I know that y'all were saying Aaron Borg held the lead for a little bit. I know Brad Newman held the lead for a little bit too, and he finished. But I feel like it's going to come down between them two in the championship. I don't know. I could be over-exaggerating, but I think it's going to come down between them two.
There you go. Well, son, it's been a pleasure being able to have you join me whenever you can, obviously. All right. Drum roll, Dylan. You're can't afford the real sound effects. There it is. It really didn't change that much.
Yeah, it did not change at all. So, yeah, the top 4 that stayed up there are the ones that are going to make it to the final 4. It's going to be Brad Newman, Jason Holdsworth, Aaron Borg, and Ryan Barber are going to be your final 4 contestants battling for a championship in 1 week's time. Place your bets, go to Vegas, do what you got to do, get those picks in early. We're going to probably have a poll up on the YouTube chat next week to see who your favorite driver is to take away this season 2 championship.
There you go. Well, there it is. And ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing but championship races left. One more race, Uno, remains for any of the series, for the Australian NASCAR E-Series Championship Sunday program. That'll wrap up at Homestead, Miami. And then, of course, next Thursday, next Friday, Phoenix Raceway. By the way, let me clarify too, Dylan, in closing, I was told that this is the new Phoenix Raceway with the dog leg and the reconfiguration. Just changing the track itself is going to make a pretty wild race, I think, next Tuesday and Thursday night, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Especially everybody that's going to be taking the dog leg and having to come back up on the racetrack. You got to watch your surroundings going down and coming back up. It is not the driver's responsibility on your outside that is taking the track to give you room to come back up. So if you're going to take that dog leg, you definitely got to make sure there's nobody hugging that white line going across the start finish line. Otherwise, you're going to be on the outside wall looking back at the other trucks going around you. So Phoenix, love Phoenix. It's a great track. It's definitely going to be some fun.
And I'm going to tell you what, too, Dylan, to add to that, if you thought the restarts were crazy and chaotic tonight at the Rock, wait until you see what they do at Phoenix. I mean, like you said, they're going to be gunning out of turn 4, coming to speed at start-finish. They're going to be going through the dog leg, heading to turn 1, and they're going to be going – they got a choice. They can go up against the wall. They can stay in the middle of the groove. They can go below the apron. They can bonsai off the bottom of the racing surface if they choose to. We might hell see 5 or 6 wide. That's how crazy and chaotic Phoenix is. You see it in reality. You'll see it this weekend in the NASCAR Championship 3 for the trucks, Xfinity, and Cup to decide their champions. And we'll have the virtual championship races there next Tuesday and Thursday. Dylan, always a fun time working with you, my friend. It's going to be fun.
Oh, absolutely. It's always going to be fun as get ready to close out here as everybody getting ready to wind down for the night. But man, can't wait to see what the championship has to offer for us next week. I believe what they're going to do is have us not do on the initial starts or restarts can go down below that dog leg and take that away.
Okay.
As getting ready to close it on up. But that's going to do it for myself and Wes Outland and Nathan Outland out there in the broadcasters world. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.
Brush your hair and go to bed.
Well, there ain't no sense of brushing your hair or then going to bed, because when you wake up in the morning, you just find bedhead.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm just speaking fact.